What is a clear sign that someone liked you, but you didn't realize until later? My mom always told me to marry this one girl from high school. I told her about it, and she was like, oh, wow, that's totally crazy, right? Would that ever happen? And I was like, no, we are too good of friends. Girl was like, so not even a chance? Didn't realize she was crushed until college. She yelled date me after I walked away from her one time. I thought she was joking. Haha, keeps walking away while for some reason ruminating about how she says she was just joking. Something that would absolutely not happen, but your mind hates you. We were watching TV at her house, just us on the couch, and some character in the show said something I can't even remember now, and she said to me, if we ever have S. That's how I'm going to describe it. I think I just chuckled and said, oh really, and that was pretty much it. We hung out a few more times and didn't do anything, and eventually she ghosted me and moved to another town. I'm a fine idiot. Just respond with prove it next time. True story. One time this girl came over to my house. She sat on my bed and said, you're alone in your bedroom with a girl on your bed. And I was like, yep, that's weird. I was totally clueless. What does a guy even say to that? I got a good one. I was in college and I was attracted to this girl with a huge behind. We all went out with a group of friends. She said out loud, he don't know how to handle all of this, with a smile, and look right at me. Then my dumbass said, I sure don't, and turned and talked to the other guys. Damn, I blew that one night. Could have blew a lot more than the night, my guy, but here we are, brothers in F. There are 4 reasons why someone would be staring at your face for a prolonged period of time. 1. You look like someone they know, and they are trying to figure it who. 2. You have an interesting feature on your face, or are shockingly ugly. 3. You are directly in front of them, and they are zoned out. 5. You are attractive to them. Man, I'm bad at multiple choice. Wanna phone a friend? No. I'd like to poll the audience. You have an interesting feature on your face, or are shockingly ugly. 89% by audience. Would you still like to use your lifeline? There was this Domino's pizza stand at the community college I went to. Nothing fancy. They just had a couple pizzas in hot bags below the counter and would charge like $2 a slice. Then pack it up and leave when they ran out. Anyways, this pretty cute girl was usually working it, and I'd sit at a table right in front of it because there weren't usually a ton of people around, and I could play on my phone or do homework. Of course, I'd get a slice of pizza or 2 and eat while I sat there. We ended up chatting every day I was there, just shooting the shit. Nothing special. After a while she started throwing an extra slice on my plate when I ordered, and eventually she stopped charging me at all. Of course, my young, oblivious self with no self-esteem was just like, sweet, free food and someone to chat with. Towards the end of the semester we were talking one day and she told me that they weren't gonna be doing the stand the following semester. I was just like, damn, that sucks, and asked her what was gonna happen. This poor girl practically begged me to make a move, but I was just too fucking stupid to see it. I was talking about the pizza stand with a buddy of mine years later who started at that JUCO after the stand was gone. I was telling the story and my interactions with this girl and was like, yeah, she was super cool and used to give me free pizza, and I stopped mid-sentence and looked at nothing in particular and said, oh my god, she had a crush on me. If you're out there, Northwest Manuscript Domino's girl, I'm so sorry I was so effing dense. It wasn't anything against you. I'm just really goddamn dumb. Guess you could say you never got around to giving her a tip. Girl lived across the hall in my college dorm. She came over in just her new push-up bra to see what I thought of it. There's only one other time I missed a massive hint. Got home from service, ran into a girl from high school at the gym, and started hanging out, catching up, and became friends. I was over her place one night, and I'm just chilling in her bed mind you, and she goes to shower and comes back out in matching bra and panties and slowly walks to her mirror, looks at herself then me, and gets into bed. I just sat there and started talking to her and being chill and kept drinking our Slurpees I picked up and left a little later when she was ready for bed and to get more comfy. Leaving the bed. Salutes ma'am. This was way back in high school a good 20 years ago. She asked me and my buddy to walk her to her car, and while we were walking, she sidled up to me and grabbed my hand. We walked hand in hand all the way to her car. She said she's got to go home or something, and so naturally I said something like okay, drive safe, and then amble away like a refine carrot. My buddy is looking at me dumbfounded, slack-jawed. He chewed me out good, said something like what is wrong with you? I assured him that friends often hold hands, and it probably didn't mean anything. If she reads this, sorry for being such a dunce. A different girl, a couple years older than me, asked me to the prom, and I basically said nah, I don't think I'll ever go to the prom. I was certain she wanted to go as friends. That one I did realize and apologize for, because a friend of hers confronted me later saying it was humiliating. I was, and remain, completely oblivious to human interaction sometimes. I was at a high school dance. I really wanted to dance with my crush and was preparing to ask her. Then a girl from her group of friends came to me and asked me for a dance. I danced with her and then she casually asked me who I had a crush on. We were friends, so it wasn't weird. I proxed to tell her. When we finished dancing I asked my crush. She said no in front of all her and my friends. I cried in the bathroom. When I composed myself I went and enjoyed the night further. I had noticed the girl I danced with first was crying, but I didn't think much of it because I was with my guy friends at the time. Thinking back I realized I crushed her heart. F dude. Same. I had a girl that I had a crush on the summer before my freshman year. She was pretty quiet, but we were in musicals together and would hang out pretty often. Because of that huge time commitment, I asked her to go grab ice cream at one point and she said she was busy, so I took it as rejection. About a month passes and I have a crush on someone new, and I'm at homecoming. The girl from the summer is there as his new crush. A slowish song comes on, and I go to ask new crush to dance. She rejects me, and I heartbrokenly start to walk to the door to go get some air or whatever. On the way out summer girl comes up and asks if I'm dancing there with anyone, and I say no, and just effing leave. One of my buddies followed me out and let me up for being an idiot about the whole situation. I went back in, and summer girl was nowhere to be found. I learned later that she had left in tears, and I was effing crushed. She was so shy and quiet that it must have taken so much for her to approach me like that, and I just shoved her aside like she was nothing. After work, she needed a ride home. I let her drive my car because she wanted to drive a stick. She drove me to some secluded spot that only could have been described as MacLeod Point. I had to be somewhere, so I drove her home. Yes, this is all real. My boss's face became red and had the biggest smile ever when I talked about inviting her to the dinner I was going to have for my birthday. She also became extremely sad when I said that I liked another woman. It wasn't until I stopped liking the other woman that I realized that my boss liked me. Worst part is that the other woman didn't care for me in that sense at all. She is still a good friend though. Edit. So, I'll add everything that has transpired since posting this comment. Someone asked if I asked her out after I realized I did and she said yes, but it was at the beginning of the quarantine and we agreed that we would go out when things got back to normal, and sometime after that we stopped talking. Just life things. Nothing good or bad. Just life. I asked if I should text her to ask her out again, and people told me to go for it, so I promised I'd do it today. I texted her over 2 hours ago and I asked her out again. She said yes, but said she didn't know when it's gonna happen because she is afraid of COVID and how people outside are not careful. I not only respect that opinion, but I also share it because of one particular experience I had to go through. One last thing is that some people seemed concerned about how dating a boss is dangerous. She isn't my boss anymore. I suppose I should have started there. She and I worked at a stadium during NBA games, and as soon as the season was cancelled, we both obviously lost our jobs. Is it just me, or does dating your boss sound like asking for trouble? Dude here. Rumored had introduced me to a woman who said she wanted to get to know me. On several occasions we're in the backyard, watching a movie and having a bonfire. She's got her legs across my lap, her one arm across my chest, and the other behind me, her head on my shoulder looking at me with the most obvious kiss me eyes anyone could have. My dumber decides to ask what? Why are you looking at me like that? And goes back to watching the movie. Now engaged. With a kid. Her of course. Not me. To a guy who knew the signs. Wait. Do men really get this oblivious? I always assumed they weren't into me like that. I've been that girl on a couple occasions. We're beyond stupid. So yes. She asked to bake brownies with me. She sent me bikini pics and a side boob pic showing her new tattoo. She asked to make chocolate covered fruit with me. Called me to go out to eat with her on campus multiple times. I thought she was just being a nice friend update. We are actually engaged now. I'll do the honors for you.